I love getting to do this. It's a great job. It's my favorite thing I've ever gotten to do. I worked at a lot of jobs that I didn't really like. This is the first job I've ever had that I really liked. I worked at Home Depot for a while. Anybody do that? Anybody working in like a high school job? Are you Home Depot? Wearing your little apron, got your little Sharpie name on there. There you go. Ask me, I know. And I didn't know. But every day somebody would come into Home Depot. I was there for 2.5 years. It's a sad place. And every day somebody would come in holding some piece of some kind of a part, like a bolt or a wire or like some kind of a plumbing part. They'd be holding it in their hand. They'd be like, hey, where would a man find one of these? I'd be like, you got one right there. I'd go on break, so it's no good. I worked at a church for a while. Actually, I was on staff. I was a young adults pastor at a church, college pastor. That was a great job. I like doing that, man. And we still volunteer at my church. We actually work now. I'm gone a lot, so we're back home. I actually was back home a couple Sundays ago, though, and this is interesting because I miss a lot of Sundays from my church because I'm traveling doing events like this. But I was home a couple Sundays ago, and since this last year, even though that first song was definitely a true story, but since last year, I've lost about 40 pounds. Let me say that. So that's I'm working on it. I'm working on it. Thank you. But then I go to my home church, and one of the deacons is in the back. He's like, Johnny, man, I hadn't seen you in a while. You look different, man. What's going on? I go, well, I've lost 40 pounds since last time you saw me. He goes, oh, you know what? Now that you mention it, I can really tell in your face. How fat was my face, you guys? What am I, Dora the Explorer? Stop it. Oh, stop it. She's got a big head. But that's the thing. So, but we still volunteer at the church some now, even though I'm not on staff at the church anymore. We work in the nursery. I like working with the babies, man. It's fun. And I like working with the babies. My wife and I, we work with the babies because they can't tell on you if it all goes wrong. That's what's great about it. You know, there's no way. If I hand you back a crying baby as a parent, it's like, look, I don't know. Maybe I dropped him. Maybe he's a brat. There you go. But we were repainting in our church, which is pretty cool. We were remodeling the whole church. And so we were putting scriptures on the wall, different scriptures that went along with that department. So like the elementary department and the young adults, the middle schoolers, they were like, raise up a child in the way he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart from it. That was the scripture they chose. And I chose for the nursery, for the babies, I chose 1 Corinthians 15:51, which if you don't know what that says, it says, behold, I reveal to you a mystery. We shall not all sleep, but we shall all be changed. And I thought that was perfect. It didn't go well. But I don't know. But I love getting to travel. This is my favorite job. Like I said, I get to travel a lot. I rent a lot of cars. That's a weird thing about this job. I've rented probably 100 cars a year for the last 4 or 5 years. And they always put me in like the dinkiest little car because I try to save money, but then you get there and like, just choose any from this row. And I look across the row. I was in Dallas, Texas last week, and the whole row was what was called a Toyota Yaris. Do you guys know what that is? It's like a little tiny hatchback, like rub it on the carpet and it'll go kind of car, You pull it back. Look at that thing. All right. And I'm going to like fold up and put myself in this thing. And you can't maybe tell from me standing in front of you, but I'm like 6'4", 200 pounds. I mean, I'm a big guy. So I'm looking at this car like, all right, I guess I'll take that one and the gastric bypass and the bone saw, and then I'll be on my way. Sometimes you get a rental car, though, and they upgrade you. That's a weird feeling. They give you a nicer car than you have back at home. Then when your trip's over, you got to go back to your crappy car. I don't like it. Hurts my feelings. And the last week, they put me in an Infiniti. That was pretty cool. I'd never driven one. And this thing had heated seats, you guys. Heated seats. Does anybody know what that is? I never knew that was a thing. And heated seats are great in a car if you know you have them. I must have bumped the button with the cup, putting it in the cup holder. I just get going on the road like, oh no. I was so overjoyed to realize I was not having a stroke. I got to tell you, that was, once I realized, it was beautiful. But I will say too, love getting to travel, and the thing is too, like being a comedian is cool, but there's one drawback, only one drawback, and that is when people see me out front. Like this already happened at my table, because my table's down there in the little pit there area with all the other tables. Hopefully I'll get to meet you after. But then the whole tables are out there, and then somebody saw my little banner, and they saw me, and they're like, "You're the comedian, aren't you?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm the comedian." They're like, "Tell me a joke." I'm like, "Give me $1. I don't appreciate We don't do that with anybody else, you know? We're not like, oh, you're a chef? Bake me a cake right now. Bake it. Oh, you're a pharmacist? Sell me some drugs. Sell me drugs right now. Oh, you're from Little Rock? Sell me some drugs. Sell me. We don't do that, that's what I'm saying. We don't do a lot of misconceptions about comedians, I will say that. Because I tour with a lot of other comedians, Tim and Bob Smiley, some too. And I will say this about comedians. Like, I'm not a prankster. People always want to think that you're a big practical joker if you're a comedian. I never was that way. Because I never got in a prank war with anybody, because you never know when that person, how far they're willing to go. You know? Anybody have that kind of a friend? You're just pranking along, all of a sudden they jump a level on you. You're like, whoa, that escalated. Like you start off thinking like, look, I put shaving cream on your door handle. Like, I put cheese whiz on your mirror. You're like, I toilet papered your yard. They're like, I poisoned your ferret. What? I don't have a ferret. What are you? But it gets intense, man. It is a weird job for me too, because I was an awkward kid. Like when I do events for students, I always think this, because when I was in school, man, I was a very shy kid. And I go by Jonnie W because I have a hard to pronounce last name. That's first of all, because I'm Johnny. My last name is actually Wethington, which seems easy, Wethington, but I get Washington and Wellington and Liechtenstein. The worst was third grade though, because I'm in a new school, the teachers call and roll, and if you have a hard to pronounce last name like me, you know this, the teacher calls your name wrong during roll call, you're gonna get made fun of the whole year. So I'm just sending her telekinetic messages when she gets to the W's. I'm like, come on, Wethington. She gets to the W's, alrighty, Walker, okay. Watson, alrighty. Weigh a ton. I'm in the back. Can I just head home now and develop an eating disorder? Thank you so much. I appreciate your help with my development. I was a little chubby kid in middle school. I had asthma. I like the asthma. It got me out of gym class. That was beautiful. It was beautiful. I had my little asthma excuse laminated by the time I'm in middle school, you know. I just hand it over to the gym teacher. There you go. That's your copy, okay? I'm going to have a seat back here, all right? Oh, we're climbing the big rope today. I don't think so. I will not be getting friction burns on my crotch. I'm going to have a seat back here and wheeze to myself. But then ninth grade came. It was a whole different guy, man. Mr. Bledsoe, the high school gym teacher. He was like, what is this? Asthma. I can cure asthma. You can what? And you guys, his cure for asthma, he made me run what's called suicides. Do you guys know what that is? Yeah, it's like a horrifying series of wind sprints. Suicides. I don't know who named that, but let me tell you something. If you make a little fat kid run back and forth until he dies, that is homicide. That is not. They will prosecute you. I'm almost positive.